Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. 92.1 FM Radio Pesona, your best information station. Hello, good afternoon Pesona Inspira. How are you today? Vali, I hope you are in a good condition. Of course, happy situation. Because this is Monday, so this is the special time for us to practicing and learning and everything about learning speaking English. Oke deh, saat ini Valia lagi kembali menemani Pesona Inspira dalam program I Can Speak. Di mana hari ini Valia juga ditemani sama satu gadis cantik ya, yang merupakan salah satu penggerak dari eSpart. Oke, boleh say hello dulu mungkin. Halo.
Hello, good afternoon Pesona Inspira. This is Zulfa. I'm back finally after a while for not being here.
Yeah, Zulfa, you are here as a penggerak from eSpart. Maybe you can, explain about eSpart and what kind of activity in eSpart.
Okay, sure thing. So, eSpart stands for English Speaking Partner. It has been built for a year now, and it is a non-profit English speaking forum that provides a place for students, for people in general who love English, to practice their speaking without limited by age or any kind of backgrounds.
Okay, so for all Pesona Inspira who worry who will speak with and then you don't have any friends to practice your speaking ability, so just come to eSpart activity.
Yes.
Maybe you can share the schedule or a time that you always did the activity.
Okay, so basically eSpart available almost every day online. You can get an access to eSpart in Instagram, eSpart ID. But for a offline meeting, we have a weekly meeting. Usually it took place in public places such as town square, in front of the library, something like that.
Okay, and of course this program, I Can Speak program, is designed for all Pesona Inspira who are really wants to speak English. Jadi bukan orang-orang yang sudah fasih berbahasa Inggris, tapi orang-orang yang pengen bisa berbicara bahasa Inggris. Jadi untuk Pesona Inspira yang mau bergabung, ikutan ngobrol barengan Valia dan Zulfa, silakan gabung aja di 0823 2383 9996. Dan saat ini Valia nggak cuma bersiaran aja di 92,1 FM, tapi juga sedang live di TikTok Radio Pesona FM. Halo semua para netizen TikTokers yang sudah bergabung. Terima kasih banyak dan tetap stay tune ya. Terutama untuk Pesona Inspira juga boleh stay tune karena hari ini kita akan ngobrolin seru-seruan tentang satu tema khusus. Mungkin Zulfa bisa spill dulu, what is our topic today?
So today's topic is quite relatable to what we are doing at the moment. So it's gonna be talking about public speaking for dummies.
Public speaking for dummies. Maybe you can a bit explain the way we talking about this public speaking for dummies.
So yeah, as we know, Valia is a great public speaker.
Not at all.
Yes, you are. So why don't we make use of her in a good way? So today we bring about a topic about public speaking, or the activity to speak in front of people or in front of an audience. And this will focus on dummies. So in this case, not dumb people, but most precisely is for beginners.
Okay, for all the beginners who never know about public speaking and has still a bit knowledge about English, you can listen us up to 2 p.m. so you can get new insight from Zulfa and of course me, I hope.
Mostly from you.
Okay, before we're talking about the public speaking for dummies, I will give you one opening song from 50/50. So don't go anywhere, stay tuned in I Can Speak program. Yes, I Can Speak is coming back, and of course with Valia and Zulfa. Hello Zulfa.
Hello.
Do you feel excited to accompany Pesona Inspira who wants to practice their English speaking ability?
Of course, it's my pleasure.
Okay, and we already spill our topic today is about public speaking for dummies. Maybe I want to know your perspective about public speaking. What is public speaking in your opinion?
Okay, public speaking in the definition from a beginner like me, I think it's more than just delivering a speech. I think it's more than just speaking in front of a audience or people. I think it's more like how you can engage people, how you can make sure that they can understand what you say and also get excited about whatever it is that you want to deliver. So I think it's an art to myself, because in this case you do not deliver, you do not say, but you also make sure that they are engaged, your audience engaged. You can create a rapport or like a relationship with your audience and can have like a good lasting memories and also impressions with them.
Yeah, of course. When we speak with the other person, maybe we can just we can just speak, but we never think about how they engage, how they pay attention with us and feeling like happy. And that's the art of public speaking, right?
Yes. Especially for those kind of public speaking where you have to motivate people. I think motivating people and get people to do something, to start doing something good for themselves is not easy. And I'm sure that not anyone can do that, right?
Do you think public speaking is really important for this day? I mean, all people can, making some digital content, and they can create some videos without frame. I mean, without, appears their face. They can create with video AI maybe.
Yes.
Do you think public speaking is still important for us?
Yeah, the case is even in these modern days where AI is everywhere, where we can ask for helps to create videos, even when we do not have to record ourselves. It's just so important that we have this capability to do speaking in front of people. Because communication skills is still prominent in today's world, especially for students, not just in a field of business, in a public service, but also for students in general, especially when they are engaged in education program where they have to be a teacher one day, right? So being able to speak is one important skills that we have to master.
Yeah, I mean, that's the the bolt of your explanation. Artinya aku mau menggarisbawahi penjelasan Zulfa nih ya. Kalau public speaking itu nggak cuma berguna untuk kayak penyiar radio, MC, tapi hal-hal lain pun seperti students, mahasiswa, guru itu juga membutuhkan public speaking karena mereka berbicara di depan orang lain gitu ya.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean the public is not always means is society, but it can be also your students or maybe your friends or your community, right?
Yes. So previously I did this research as my thesis research, and I observed higher students about their experiences with public speaking. And in this case, I specifically focus on academic oral presentations in the classroom.
Okay.
So even when the setting is in the classroom and in front of your own classmates, it's still categorized as public speaking.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because you speak to an ample of people, to an audience as a whole, and you do not speak to yourself. So this is what makes public speaking.
And of course, they always need confidence.
Yes. Oh my goodness, without confidence, I think we're gonna be like a robot, right?
Yeah, because when we talk or when we speak in front of class or in front of others people, we really need gain our confidence and our volume, speak volume. Because when we don't feel like confidence, we just feeling nervous, and then we don't really give clearly explanation, I think.
Yes, and the fun fact is that some people might be thinking that before I do public speaking, I think I have to have this strong confidence in me. But actually, public speaking itself is a forum. It's like a platform.
Yeah.
It's like a media for you to build your confidence. So do not wait until you have that level of confidence for you to do public speaking, but do public speaking to gain that confidence.
So where do you first practice your public speaking ability?
Yeah, well, I did it alone at home.
Okay. In front of mirror.
Yes, in front of mirror, and also I did some voice recording to see like how did I perform, how did my voice sound like, and then after that, when I was in schools, when I was in high schools, I attended some kind of competitions like speech competitions, so debates competitions, which actually part of the public speaking, right? And so it's really important to start from an early age, and you can start from any methods, like practicing by yourselves or mimicking a public speaker of your idol, and then try to step out of the door and do or follow any kind of opportunities where you can speak in front of people.
And for your information, Pesona Inspira, Zulfa already being a master ceremony, especially in English.
Yeah, a couple of times, but sometimes I also messed up.
It's okay. You look still awesome for me.
Oh my goodness, thank you.
Not everyone can be a master of ceremony, especially in English language.
Yes.
How do you feel when you first become the master ceremony and have to speak in English when you become an MC?
So I think it's quite challenging. Mixed feelings, challenging and also not challenging.
Okay.
Not challenging because English itself is something that I'm familiar with. I've been working and also studying this for a couple of years now. But the challenging part is when I have to present it in front of people. I mean, to be honest with you, I would rather do moderating instead of MCing.
Okay.
Because MCing is like you have this script and you have to follow this script very strictly. If you make mistakes, then you're gonna get blurry. Your mind's gonna get blurry and you're gonna mess up, But when it comes to moderating, you can just do some impromptu. And that's where my strength is.
Yeah. I can relate it, but I never, never apply it in English language.
I see. So you have to try it because you're such a great public speaker.
Oh no, I think I still need some preparation before I become a master ceremony in English language. Maybe you can spill how to prepare us to speak English, especially become MC in English.
First thing first, we need to have a preparation. Good preparation will always get us to the target performance. Because the problem is some public speakers, especially for dummies or beginners, they have this kind of nervousness or anxiety. Yeah, when it comes to speaking in front of people, maybe due to the fear of being judged or receiving any negative evaluations, or that they have this certain standard, self-standard, like a perfectionism, something that they want to achieve, but somehow due to this and that reasons they couldn't achieve it and they become upset about it. And so one thing is for sure preparation. Good preparation starts with creating scripts.
Okay. Making script first.
Yeah. And also try to practice more because speech organs like mouth, lips, and tongue, they're like motorcycles. So let's say you have motorcycles and you put it in your garage for days, for weeks, and let alone for months.
Yeah.
And you do not use it or even touch it at all. You do not even warm it up. So the moment that you're going to use your motorcycle, it can just be broken up, broken down. And so it's just the same case as this speech organs, like your mouth. If you do not practice it, if you do not know how you sound like, how you should sound like, then it will one day when you're using it, you're not gonna get that level of perfections that you want to achieve. So I think it's important to prepare and practice.
So Zulfa explanation is the preparation that we need to become a MC, especially in English language, is script. But even you already prepare script, you have to try your pronunciation first, and then you have to try to speak first and listen your voice first. Is it clear to be understand for everyone, right?
And exactly.
Yeah, and sometimes people feels like, oh bener nggak sih bacanya gitu kan. Kadang juga ada yang ngerasa bacanya harusnya begini atau begitu gitu. Artinya juga harus tetap melatih vokalnya dulu ya sebelum akhirnya langsung terjun jadi MC gitu dalam bahasa Inggris.
Yeah, because as far as I've heard, many MCs when they do their jobs, they tend to have this deep sound, the voice.
Yeah, the voice.
Like very typical, right?
Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi.
That kind of voice.
Okay.
And so maybe we do not have to follow that, right?
Yeah.
But at least we can provide like a proper voice as an MC.
Yeah, and of course, in especially, I mean, in how you spell or how you speak your word in English. Yeah. Okay. Talking about public speaking for dummies, so I think there are so much persona inspira who doesn't know about public speaking and who doesn't doesn't have any knowledge about speaking English, and persona inspira you have chance to asking us and to talking about this topic with Valia and of course Zulfa, and you can chat in 0823 283 9996. Sekali lagi ya di 0823 2383 9996. Kalau misalkan Persona Inspira merasa kayak aduh Valia sama Zulfa dari tadi full bahasa Inggris, boleh nggak sih aku gabungnya pakai bahasa Indonesia atau bahasa Wonosobo? Boleh banget, yang penting bukan bahasa tubuh ya. Karena Valia tidak bisa membaca bahasa tubuhnya Persona Inspira karena kita disiarkan ya, jadi kita nggak bisa ngelihat nih gimana bahasa tubuhnya. Gabung aja kalau misalkan mau ngobrolin hal lain selain public speaking, atau mungkin cuma gini aja, Kak aku mau request lagu, boleh apa enggak? Boleh banget deh ya. Dan kita masih akan melanjutkan pembicaraan kita seputar public speaking for dummies tentunya di 92,1 FM, tapi setelah lagu dan komersial break berikut ini. Don't go anywhere, stay tuned in I Can Speak program. Before I Fall in Love from Kokoli, especially from what is it like a Kokoli Melon who already watching us in live TikTok Radio Pesona FM. And of course, Valia still accompany Pesona Inspira in I Can Speak program. To be able to voice aspiration, we must be able to speak. So here is it. I can speak. Yes, I Can Speak is coming back, and of course we still talking about public speaking for dummies, and Valia still accompanied by Zulfa, who comes from ISPART as a voluntary movement that can accompany Persona Inspira who wants to learn and practice speaking English ability with free. Yeah.
Yes.
And we already talking about the preparation to public speaking, of course, how you feel when you being a first MC in English language, and of course maybe do you have ever felt like I did some mistake and this is very first mistake when you being an MC, especially in English language?
Of course, I did an ample of mistakes before, especially when it comes to MCing, because as I have mentioned before that I didn't really enjoy MCing. Instead, I enjoy moderating more, right? And so one of the biggest mistakes that I have done was for not having proper or full preparations for the big event coming up.
Okay.
Especially when MCing, and then we have an international conference here, and then at one stage we have to introduce the moderators, also introduce the host, and also introduce not the host but the guest. I'm sorry, but the guest, right? The guest speaker. We have to introduce their profiles, their backgrounds here and there, but the biggest mistake was that I didn't dig much information about him or her, and when the time comes, I didn't give like a proper introductions of their backgrounds, of their magnificent backgrounds.
So you wrong in what is it, in reading the background, or you wrong in explaining the background?
In explaining it, I didn't dig much information, especially the bombastic ones that can capture audience attentions to who the guest speakers are, and so it's a big mistake, and I shall learn from that.
Okay. So far, I'm sorry, I have to speak honestly. Now I'm being a bit distraction because there are so many Persona Inspira who already watch us and still watching us in live TikTok Radio Persona FM, and I wanna say hello to all the TikTokers who already watching us live in TikTok Live Radio Persona FM, and there is one person who come from Universitas Jenderal Sudirman, my friends.
Oh my goodness.
Halo Mbak Uni Wahyuningsi, Thank you for watch our live TikTok and all Persona Inspira who still accompany us in TikTok live. And of course, for Persona Inspira who still listen us in 92.1 FM, you can join us in live TikTok too. And of course, in live chat, in 0823 2383 9996. And we still talking about public speaking for dummies. And we gonna, I will start in dummy person. Maybe a person who doesn't have any knowledge about public speaking and English. What the first thing that they have to do, or what the first thing that they have to learn? The public speaking first or the English language first?
Well, English language is the media.
The media, okay.
Yeah, it's like a platforms. Meanwhile, public speaking is like the skills that you have to master. So first thing first, they have to go together, but in a different dimensions, or like in a different ways. Because first, other than having a good public speaking, other than having like good English proficiency skills, like the pronunciations, the correctness of the grammar, everything like that, and also the flow in the English speaking as well, you also need to have like a good public speaking skills in general.
Okay.
How you can deliver your message to be comprehensively understood by your audience, how you can engage them, how you can make sure that they don't feel bored during your performance, during your presentations, during your speeches, how you can make sure that you can encourage them, persuade them. It's like a big job, and you have to learn that all the way, like learning English as well, and also the public speaking skills as well. And one thing you need to know is that the feeling of being nervous, you need to know the cause of it. When it comes to public speaking in English, do you feel nervous because you feel like you have lack of English speaking skills, or that because you do not feel like you have enough public speaking skills in general? So you need to understand the causes for your inconfidence, and then try to cope with that.
Okay. Okay, I relate it. I think that even we are emceeing in Indonesian, we can still like feeling nervous and then feels like a slip tongue. And when we doing it in English language, it's really normal when we did mistake. That's the way. That's the reason why we have to practicing our speaking ability first before being a MC, right?
Yes. And there's one thing I need to revise. Actually, public speaking is the platform, meanwhile the English language is like the tool. So it's very different, right?
Okay. So maybe I want to talking about more about the public speaking. When we become a public speaker, there is so much unpredictable things that can happen when during our event, right?
Yes.
And we need think fast about the improvement, and it can not all people can handle it. How you can handle it?
Yeah, that's why when we are about to give a public speaking, let's say we are about to give like a presentations, it's so important to not memorize.
Okay.
But instead to understand the concept of the topic that you want to deliver. Because topical knowledge is quite important other than having a good English proficiency. And so one of the unexpected things that mostly happen during your performance is that when you expect your audience to be that active, to be that engaged, and then when you give them the chance to ask, they will ask you questions that you master, questions that you have expected. But actually in reality, sometimes that doesn't go as planned, because it could be either the audiences are too passive, even when you have encouraged them to ask, or the questions are too tricky for you to handle yourselves. And so it's important to have like a good topical knowledge. First thing first, let's say you're about to present about how to build English habit, so you have to know each and every detail of the topic.
Okay.
And then you also need to know and prepare unexpected questions from the audiences. That's why it's really important to understand the audience you're about to face.
Prepare for the unexpected question, and of course unexpected a situation.
Yes, exactly. And here's the tips, like when you face passive audience, maybe because they are shy, maybe because they are tired or bored, instead of just waiting them or encouraging them to ask, meanwhile they do not have the motivation to do so, you have to take the initiative to ask the audience.
Yeah.
I'm sure I've seen Miss Fali have done this before in one of her performances.
Yeah. For me, I usually, when I met some public speaker, even with public speaker and their audience still passive, they will give some ice breaking. Yeah, it happens to me when I am seeing some students and it feels like awkward and feels like a bit thriller. So I just give them some applause, a kind of applause, like a applause 1, applause 2, applause 3, and then some a bit camps who really easy to play with anyone.
Yes,
It can be really, mencairkan suasana.
Yes.
And it's really useful. It's really works for your activity, and of course you can continue after the ice breaking.
Yeah, and doing ice breaking can be applicable to almost all audiences, right? Not just among students, but also among adults audiences. It's just a matter of how we can select the appropriate method or appropriate form of ice breaking itself.
Okay, and we come back to public speaking. It means public speaking. It's not only talking about the announcer and then the news presenter, but also teacher and student. You can be a public speaker too, because you can you have some tasks that you have to explain in front of your people, in front of your student. And of course, do you think that there is one profession that I still thinking of it. It belongs to public speaking or not?
Yeah.
What is it? Pilot. Do you think pilot is public speakers too? Because pilot is drive the plane, right? The airplane. But sometimes the pilot needs to give information and some message for their passengers.
Yeah.
And when the troubles come, the cloud and then some turbulence coming up suddenly, they need to making their passengers more calm.
Yeah. That's like the point of persuading other people, believing to invite them to believe that the situations will be just okay. You just have to do what I said by doing this and that, and that would be definitely a public speaking, but not in a traditional sense or definitions, right?
Yeah.
But that's really true, because especially when you are about to make people calm, you have to make sure that the way you say it doesn't show your own nervousness. You know? You have to sound convincing atau meyakinkan. And that's one of the arts of public speaking.
Okay, so you agree that pilot is it can be the public speakers too, but it's not in traditional definition.
It's not in a traditional definition as in speeches or presentations.
Because the function of public speaker or public speaking is influence someone or two people or some society. So the pilot can influence their feeling, their happiness and their calm feelings to the passenger, right?
Yeah, in a good way. To persuade and influence in a good way.
Yeah. Okay, for Pesona Inspira who wants to asking or request some song or maybe just say hello or request some new song, you can chat or phone us in 0823 2383 9996. And now I will give you a song from Bruno Mars featuring Energy Sonic, who released in March 2021. Leave the door open.
Radio Pesona, stasiun informasi terbaikmu.
To be able to voice aspiration, we must be able to speak. So here is it. I can speak. Yay! I Can Speak is coming back and still accompanied by Valia and of course to Zulfa. And we already talking about the public speaking for dummies, and now the time for learn with Persona segment. So for all Persona Inspira who write a new vocabulary, you must be prepare your pen and of course your note to writing. So we will continue our segment in learn with Persona.
New vocab today. Kosakata baru apa hari ini? Let's enriching our vocab. Perkaya kosakata baru hari ini bersama Learn with Persona.
I can speak.
Ya, di hari ini kita sudah menyiapkan beberapa kosakata baru untuk Persona Inspira catat dan mungkin nanti di lain waktu bisa praktekkan dan berbicara langsung ya. Mungkin bisa dimulai dari Kak Zulfa ya, ada beberapa kosakata Kak yang akan dibagikan.
I've got a couple here. Shall I start now?
Yeah, you start
Yes.
now, and maybe you have to explain a short explain about the definition.
Okay, sure thing. So first thing first, I'm gonna go with engagement.
Engagement.
So ENGAGEMENT.
Oke,
Engagement.
Engagement artinya.
Keterlibatan atau interaksi.
Oke, keterlibatan atau interaksi. Selanjutnya ada apa lagi tuh?
And then we got persuade. 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 Persuade.
Persuade, persuade kalau dalam bahasa Indonesia tulisannya ya.
Exactly.
Artinya apa Kak?
Membujuk atau kayak meyakinkan.
Oke, membujuk atau meyakinkan. Selanjutnya ada kata apa lagi?
And then we go to the problems during public speaking. Usually we got distracted.
Distracted.
Yeah, DISTRACTED. Distracted.
Oke, artinya.
Atau teralihkan, fokus kita itu teralihkan.
Oke, selanjutnya
And then I got anxiety.
anxiety. Gara-gara lagu nih kayaknya ya.
Sepertinya iya.
Oke, artinya apa?
Artinya adalah kecemasannya, ANXIETY.
Oke, anxiety, kecemasan. Ini bisa juga terjadi ke Persona Inspira yang baru berlatih public speaking, pasti mengalami kecemasan ya. That's why anxiety itu tadi sempat terucap juga, makanya kita kasih vocabulary baru ini ya.
Yes, karena common ya.
Iya,
biasanya.
oke. Selanjutnya ada kosakata apa lagi?
Ada impromptu.
Impromptu.
IMPROMPTU. Or in bahasa it means tanpa persiapan or usually done spontaneously atau spontan. Sesuatu yang unexpected happen and so we have to be off script.
Oke. And then
And then
That's
the last
all?
one
The last one?
is rehearse.
rehearse, mendengarkan ulang.
No.
Oh, no.
It's like latihan.
Oh, like
Like
rehearsals.
practice.
Okay.
Like rehearsal.
Okay. Rehearse. And from Valia, maybe I just wanna give one additional new vocabulary, that's influence, atau dalam bahasa Indonesia penulisannya adalah influence yang artinya mempengaruhi. Oke, jadi hari ini ada 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 kosakata baru. Yang pertama ada engagement, and then persuade, distracted, anxiety ya.
Anxiety.
Oke, impromptu and rehearse.
Yep.
And
Exactly.
then influence. Oke, ini semua bisa Persona Inspira tulis dan kapan-kapan bisa diaplikasikan ketika Persona Inspira berlatih berbicara bahasa Inggris. Dan akhirnya nih, kita harus memberikan closing statement before we have to say goodbye and meet another week. So maybe we have to listen the closing statement from Zulfa.
Okay, so I've prepared this on a note. So I want to cite a quote. May I? So
Yes.
the quote is from Ambrose Redmoon. It's called, "Courage is
Okay.
not the absence of fear,
Okay.
but rather the judgment that something else is more important than fear." So knowing the importance of public speaking, you better not get defeated by your own fear or anxiety. You shall start, because public speaking doesn't wait for you to be confident, but it builds your confidence. So get your first public speaking activity and make it a good experience, and try to do your best by rehearsing and practicing and preparing well.
Okay, that's very good. From Valia, I just want to say that everything or no matter you face, you just believe with your ability. Trust yourself. Okay.
Trust your gut that you can make it.
Yes, that's right. Thank you very much for your visiting, Zulfa. And of course, maybe we can talk about anything again in another segment or in another episode. And of course, thank you very much for our Persona Inspira who already listen us. And we, of course, will come back in another Monday, every Monday and every 12:15 p.m. And of course, I'm Valia.
And I'm Zulfa.
Thank you very much and goodbye. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.